New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. And hello again, dear ones. Reverend Robert here, hiding behind the banner. You know how I like to do that occasionally. Welcome to And Now the Good News here on the New Thought Media Network. I'm Rev Robert Brzezinski. I'm so grateful that you are with us. Hoo-ha! Space Cowboy Wayne, good to see you. And we are here in what was sunny Southern California, although I'll tell you the wind has picked up in the last half hour, 45 minutes, and the palm trees outside my hotel room are blowing in the wind pretty hard. But we are here at the Centers for Spiritual Living annual convention. It happens in person every other year. It happens virtually every other year. This is an in-person year. I tell you, it has been part of the good news is you can gather in groups and be safe about it. And everybody took tests coming into the event. The event we've been very careful and closed, and everybody's wearing masks and everybody's doing what they need to do. We're staying safe and we're getting a lot of good business done. We're getting a lot of good business done to bring forward this mighty vision of a world that works for everyone through Centers for Spiritual Living. So again, I'm Rev Robert and I'm here. We come together every Friday evening to share the good news stories, those stories that are uplifting and inspiring and remind us that there is good in the world and to help us move into the rest of our week. However, sometimes there is breaking news stories that must be addressed. And as we were coming to air this evening, as we were preparing our show, we recognized there's a story we have to give you. And this is the story of dear Thich Nhat Hanh, also known as Thay. News coming from Plum Village that he has made his transition from this earthly body into the greater realms of beingness that are unknown to us, and yet we trust and pray in his eternal honor and his eternal soul. So we've got a little video we like to do for in loving memory of Thay. And we're back. All right, folks. I'm going to let everybody kind of do what they do around that processing. I'm sure that will be news around the conference this evening as we wrap up our business here tonight. Okay, into the good news stories for the week. I don't want to lose too much traction here. We want to make sure you do know what's going on in the world. First story up, I'm really happy about this. IKEA has just purchased 3,200 acres of forest land in Florida. This is land that had been destroyed by a hurricane. They're restoring it with longleaf pine. There's no mention in the article if they intend to eventually harvest that pine for furniture or not. I'm not sure. But even that's okay. IKEA is a long supporter of coming to the idea of carbon neutral, and this is one of the ways they're going to do it. They've been buying forests for years now and are continuing to invest in what's most necessary to offset the carbon footprint of what they're doing in their business models. I've never shopped at an IKEA. I'm not here to tell you you should. I'm not here to tell you you shouldn't. But it seems like this is sound business practices to me. And they have seemed to have made this commitment over time. Kudos to IKEA. Hey, let's also, now I've been here in what we've been calling sunny Southern California for the last few days. Yes, I've been wearing shorts and sandals. It feels really nice in the middle of the winter. And I do understand there is a blizzard happening on the East Coast and has been, and there are numerous storms. Our next story comes from Western Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. School was canceled and everything was shut down because of a snowstorm. Coach Brian DeLallo, I do hope I'm saying that correctly, Coach Brian, of the Bethel Park High School, took to Twitter and told his students, hey, here's your workout for the day. We're not having weight training. We're not having strength training. I want you to go out and shovel some snow, shovel a sidewalk, shovel a driveway for someone that's elderly or disabled. Well, his students and his athletes picked up their shovels and they went out and they shoveled and sent back their Twitter feeds and sent back pictures of themselves, making sure that everybody was getting dug out in their neighborhoods. Kudos to the Bethel Park High School students and that was the weightlifting group. And so kudos to you guys. These are the kind of stories, folks. They remind me that it doesn't matter what, we're in this together. We're working to solve, to help each other. And if everybody works together, we can accomplish anything. And that's what I'm struck about on this next story. Now, this next story happened in Sweden. And a 71-year-old gentleman was hiking and had a cardiac arrest. Now, in where he was, there's a company who's partnered with the local municipalities in the area, and they were able to fly via drone a defibrillator to his location. So what you're looking at there is a pretty good sized drone. Now, they're not flying the man to services, they're flying the services to the man. It's called EMAID, Emergency Medical Aerial Delivery Service. And now, what I also love about Spirit and the way this thing we call the universe works, and the way this all works, is there just happened to be a trained physician who was driving by the scene on his way to the hospital to go to work and was able to be notified because he's part of the system as well, and was able to administer and use the defibrillator and save the man's life. This stuff was science fiction when I was a kid. Today, it's the good news. That's, again, the ingenuity of humanity is absolutely amazing, and I am always excited to see what's happening. The next story, not so much the human side of this as there is a miracle going on. A young girl, Vika, got lost about a half a mile from her home, coming home from school. And this happened in Yugogorsk. I do believe I'm saying that properly. Ugogorsk. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything in here what city that is, or what country that is, excuse me. And she got lost. Searchers searched throughout the night in a blizzard in negative 11 degrees Celsius weather. That's cold no matter how you measure it. And the next day, after 18 hours, the young girl was found alive, clinging to a dog, clinging to a stray dog. Nobody's identified the dog's owner. Nobody knows where the dog came from. And searchers were frozen and had pretty much given up. And this young girl spent the night clinging to a stray dog, and it saved her life. However you want to look at the divine, and no matter what name we want to call it, it works in mysterious ways. I love the stories of the mysterious ways. We need to take a break, say thank you to some of our sponsors, and let you know about a few things that are coming up. Please stay with us. We've got plenty more to come here on And Now the Good News. We'll be back in just another moment. We're going to let our commercials roll. Thank you.
One power, invisible, and you see it every.
And we're back with more And Now the Good News for Friday. I'm Reverend Robert, and I'm joined in studio today by our very first correspondent. Now, for a number of, hey, welcome Terry Paul Choyce to the show. Hello, Terry.
Hi, great to be here. Great to see you. You're in California, and I'm in Nova Scotia. We're on the opposite sides of the continent.
Exactly, and I love how this technology allows us to do that. So, folks, I've been saying from the very first week of this show that if you'd like to be a correspondent, if you'd like to come on and share some of the good news that you've found in the world, we'd love to have you come on the program and do just that. If you'd like us to cover your story, just send us an email, goodnews@ntmedia.org, and we'll take a look at it. And Terry is a longtime supporter of New Thought Media Network and has a radio program over on our radio station, New Thought Radio. You can catch her every Wednesday and Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time and Sundays at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That program is Feel the Flow with Terry Paul Choyce. I listen to it religiously every week, Terry.
Thank you.
We did have to skip this last week because I was traveling and I didn't do my job.
You're forgiven.
Thank you. So
that means I don't have to create a new show. It's already in the can.
Exactly. You get a week off that way as well. So, folks, I'm going to slip out and let Terry take over and share a few of the stories that she's found this week that remind her we're all doing and we're all creating good news together. Terry, it's all yours.
All right. Thanks, Robert. Well, I'm really, really pleased to have a little segment on this program because, wow, we all need good news. And, if you do a little digging, there's all kinds of interesting things that are happening. So I found 3 stories that kind of, tweaked my interest. And the first one takes place in, it's in Williamsburg. And this woman and her son have received a home that was built by Habitat for Humanity. So I'm just going to read a little bit about it because not only is this a wonderful thing that Habitat and Humanity does, but this house is 3D printer construction. So I think that is really exciting. She says, my son and I are so thankful, April Springfield said. I always wanted to be a homeowner, and it's a dream come true. Springfield purchased the home through the Habitat Home Buyer Program, and Habitat homes are sold at no profit with a zero interest mortgage. Many people think Habitat gives homes away, but we don't. We sell homes to families with low to moderate incomes, says Janet Green, CEO of Habitat for Humanity in Greater Williamsburg. Home buyers also have to log 300 hours of sweat equity volunteer and in order for them to be able to purchase a Habitat for Humanity home. The 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Williamsburg is the first ever completed 3D printed Habitat house in the nation. The construction crew printed the 1,200 square foot home in, get this, 12 hours, reducing the standard construction schedule by at least 4 weeks. Well, here in Canada, it would be at least 4 months. Alquist used concrete in lieu of lumber to print the exterior walls, which saved an estimated 15% of square foot in building costs. The company also installed a 3D printer in the kitchen. Springfield will receive a downloadable computer that will allow her to print the knobs, light switches, covers, and other replaceable parts with her very own printer. Springfield says she's excited to make new memories in a place, quote, that I can call home and give my son that backyard he can play in. This is all for my son, Springfield added. If you truly believe in something, keep trying and you can do it. Very, very true advice. So great story, and congratulations to April Springfield and to the good folks at Habitat for Humanity. Story number 2. This is a story that actually came out before Christmas, but Robert didn't cover it, so I get to do it. The world's largest independent digital health agency gave its employees $100 this holiday season, but there was one catch, that they had to give it away. Click Health, which is based in Toronto, Canada, yay, received more than 1,700 video clips of good deeds from employees after distributing their holiday cards. Inside the card was a $100 bill and a message that read, "A simple act of kindness can inspire many more." And that is the truth. We really didn't give people a lot of directions, said the director. Just here's a $100 bill. Give it away and spread the joy. Click Health Chief Executive Officer Rich Levy told Fox News the company asked employees to film their kind gestures so that they could compile the clips into a heartwarming video. They were encouraged to get creative. Within a short period of time, the company received more than 1,700 clips, which was over 10 hours of footage. So congratulations to that company, and I really, really hope that that idea catches on with companies all over the world. So my next story I find very interesting because, I'm getting to be, elderly, and so it has great relevance to me, and plus I'm a health exercise fanatic. So this one says, when elderly people stay active, their brains have more of a class of proteins that enhances the connections between neurons to maintain healthy cognition. This was done in a UC San Francisco study. This protective impact was found even in people whose brains at autopsy were riddled with toxic proteins associated with Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. Our work is the first that uses human data to show that synaptic protein regulation is related to physical activity and may drive the beneficial cognitive outcomes we see, said Caitlin Casaletto, PhD and assistant professor of neurology and lead author on the study. The beneficial effects of physical activity on cognition have been shown in mice, but have been much harder to demonstrate in people. Maintaining the integrity of these connections between neurons may be vital to fending off dementia, since the synapse is really the site where cognition happens, said Casaletto. Physical activity, a readily available tool, may boost this synaptic functioning. Castelletto found that elderly people who remained active had higher levels of proteins that facilitate the exchange of information between neurons. This result dovetailed another study by a Dr. Honer, finding that people who had more of these proteins in their brains when they died were better able to maintain their cognition late in life. So folks, get out there and exercise, get on the yoga mat, do your Pilates, and lift your weights, walk in your beautiful neighborhoods, and keep yourself active, and that'll help your brain as well. So that's about it for me, and we're going on with more of Robert and lots more good news.
And we're back with more of the good news here on the New Thought Media Network. Big, huge thank you to Terry Paul Choyce for bringing us that segment. What a great collection of good news stories. And that's what it's all about, folks. This isn't just about me sitting here. It's about all of us sharing the good news with each other. And if you'd like to be a correspondent, if you'd like to come on to a program and share the good news with us, please reach out. Let us know. goodnews@ntmedia.org. We'll be happy to take a look at what stories you'd like us to cover. Or again, if you'd like to join us, let us know. So again, kudos to Terry Paul Choyce for being our very first correspondent. Thank you, Terry. We love you, and we appreciate you being here with us this evening. All right, back into the good news. Now, this next story all started 14 years ago in Taiwan. An 84-year-old gentleman was living, it doesn't say, he's a military veteran, and he was living in a military community, but it was becoming a ghost town. And out of boredom, he began to paint different walls and pieces of the town. Now, as you can see from our image there in the photo, he obviously didn't start there. What happened is that he found out the military was going to tear down his town, is going to rip it down his town, was going to raise his town to nothing. And he learned about this and decided he had to do something. So he started to paint all of the walls in his town and started to paint the entire town. The gentleman's name is Huang Young Fu, and he was 84 when he started. He's 98 now. The town has been made into a park, and he and his wife are the only residents. But it has become a tourist attraction. People come to see him and come to see the Rainbow Village. I want to go see the Rainbow Village now. All right, we need to take a trip to Taiwan and go see the Rainbow Village. I think that would be just amazing. And we talk about all the amazing things that happen in the world and are happening all across our planet. This next story I found incredibly intriguing. What you're looking at there is a very rare eagle whose range is normally in Russia. It's a Russian eagle. This eagle has been seen and documented in Alaska, Canada, and now Maine. So obviously has taken a detour from its normal territory. Scientists would call this animal a vagrant. We're gonna try to find a better term for that sometime soon. But from a scientific perspective, the animal has strayed far from its course. Normally, if you are a bird watcher, you'd have to go to Japan or Russia or Korea to witness this animal, and even then would be incredibly lucky to see one. As I said at the top of the story, they are incredibly rare. If you're a birder, you probably already know about this. If you're not, just check out some of the pictures that are starting to emerge. What a majestic animal. And you can see them, and they're still, this animal is still in Maine currently. All right, before we go tonight, a couple of more stories before, and you guys know how I love technology stories and stories about renewable energy. Our next two stories are a little bit of both. Stanford scientists, along with researchers at the U.S. Department of Energy National Accelerator Laboratory, have found a way to revitalize rechargeable lithium batteries. Now, if you don't know, I know that's a mouthful, I get it. But if you don't already know, lithium batteries, they lose their charge. One of the problems is they also have a tendency to catch fire, and a lot more devices are being charged. So a lithium battery can overheat, can catch fire, especially if punctured or damaged in some way. Well, what these guys have done is they have determined a way to capture the dead aspects of lithium batteries after they've no longer able to charge, and normally would continue to lose life. They're developing technologies that will allow us to regain that life, and it sort of tricks the battery and lets the dead parts of the battery all migrate to one end of the battery, so that the rest of the battery can access the rest of the viable chargeable material. I'm not a scientist, but it seems pretty cool to me. and I would say it's definitely a good news story that's happening. Before we go tonight, I do have one other fun good news story I wanted to share with you, and that's because I have witnessed over the last 10 or 15 years, I've seen a lot of ideas on how we might generate power from waves, from water. And this story is really interesting because it uses a natural idea, seaweed. Now, I'm not a big seaweed fan. My kids love the stuff. But I'm not a big seaweed fan, but this seems to work. The idea is that as more of the waves move, and as the waves continue to move, we use a natural a filament that mimics nature to create energy naturally. So it is not all sun, and it's not all wind, and we can create renewable energy through the power of the waves as well. These are the good news stories that I believe remind me that we're working together, that things are okay, and that no matter what it may look like, and no matter what the pundits may say, everything's working out for the best. I'm Rev Robert Brzezinski. We're going to get out of here for now. Before we do, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's watching this program, and each and every one of you that's out there being a part of what we're doing here on the New Thought Media Network. This is a mighty idea in the mind of God. Here at the Centers for Spiritual Living Convention, there's a lot of people catching the vibe and the vision of what we're doing. I love working on a laptop because things happen without you basically touching them. So I want to say thank you before we go to our committed givers and our financial sponsors. Please take one more moment to be with me and help make sure we say thank you to all these wonderful folks.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And please help us welcome Om Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, California. Thank you for your monthly donation. Thank you Center for Spiritual Living Seattle for your most generous donation. And a special thanks to Heckerland Foundation for your generous technology grant. And Suze Odgen, thank you for your very generous donation. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.
Thank you to all of our committed givers and those that are making sure that this network continues to thrive and be able to bring this great programming out into the world. If you'd like to become part of our committed giving program, please head on over to our website, ntmedia.org, click on the donate button, and make sure you make that a monthly donation of any amount, and we'll get your name on the video. And that video is so out of date already. I got more people to add to that already. We're gonna make a new video here real soon. I think we're getting to the point where we're gonna make those every month. So join in the fun. Join in New Thought Media Network. We thank you for being with us. We're gonna get out of here for now. Until next time, please let people know, let your friends know what we're doing here. Check out some of our other programming. Join us tomorrow morning. Laura Topper will be here with the Science of Mind and Spirit Conversation Series, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Until next time, peace.